Monster just never, ever doesn't slap. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Georgia. I hope you're well. And before we get into today's video, I just want to give you guys a bit of an update. I first want to start by apologising for the lack of content that's coming up on my socials at the minute. I was doing so well, being so strict and was so on it with my uploads. And then something very, very exciting is currently happening in the background. Me and James have bought a house and we are so excited and feeling so lucky and so grateful, but it does mean that my socials have taken a bit of a step back. It's all sort of gone on pause a little bit as we've come to this next step in our life, which is obviously very, very exciting, but it just means that my socials have taken a bit of a back burner. It also means that my TBRs have gone out of the window good and proper. September I read like 13 books or something daft like that, and I usually only read sort of like 7 or 8. In October, as we sit right now, I've read 4 books and only 2 of those are on my TBR, and also I've uploaded very little here on YouTube. But obviously all of this will return to normal once I've moved. We've been delayed twice and it's all been a bit up in the air and then settled again, and by the time you're seeing this I should hopefully have moved, assuming we've not been delayed again, which could very well happen, but we will see how that goes. So I am currently in the middle. Like, our house is currently like 70% packed up. We are literally just waiting for a day because it keeps getting moved back and back and back. But equally, my books are still out. They will be the last thing to get packed up in this house because the library in the new house is going to take some work. So I'm trying really hard to leave my books until the last possible minute so that I can still read, I can still sit in here when I just want some peace and to be away from the mountain of boxes around our house at the moment. That's my little update. Things will return to normal as soon as we're in, and I'll definitely bring you along for the journey as we do up my library and get that exactly how I want it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait. For today's video, we are going to be pulling my November TBR. I still want to pull a TBR for this month, even though I don't know how much of it I'll actually get to. I just like to have a sort of guide for when I'm trying to choose what reads I fancy and things like that. So I'm going to pull a TBR anyway, and I'm still going to pull 6 books as well. Hopefully if we get moved in the next couple of days, I'll still have like 3 weeks of November where I'm actually just reading. You never know. We might get to these, we might not. I don't really care either way. It's nice to hit your TBRs, but equally it's just sort of a guideline for me. It's not a strict reading list. It's just books that I would like to get to, that I try and include in my videos, things like that. So we are going to pick 6 books as always, and we are going to see what our TBR is going to be for November. So I'm going to go for prompt number 1. So let's have a feel around, dig to the bottom, get something new. I have a yellow. So prompt number 1, we have had this one on a recent TBR. I don't think it was last month, maybe the month before, but I have used a letter generator and pick a book starting with that letter. Let's spin the wheel. What are we gonna get? Book number 1, we have the letter. I can't actually see that. L, okay. Oh. Done. I'm not even gonna look at the rest of my bookshelves. This is happening. This is happening in the month of October. I have wanted to read this series and start this series for what feels like a lifetime, and I just keep not doing it. This even ended up on a TBR and I still didn't pick it up. But in November, this is happening. We're gonna do it. We're finally gonna do it. We're gonna crack on. I have heard the most amazing things about this book and this series and this author, and I just need to read it. I only actually have the first 3 books in the series as well, and I'm pretty sure there's 5 out now, and I want to read this, and I want to read the Legacy series. I've heard so many amazing things about Melissa K. Rorick's writing, and just these being on people's like favourite series of the year, and I really want to get to this. I've heard the most amazing things about the writing style, about the actual stories themselves, and about this whole interconnected universe, and I want to be involved. I want to get in on this. So this is the first book that I'm going to put on our TBR for November because this needs to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. We're off to a good start. We're off to a good TBR this month. Let's go in for our second prompt. Oh, I've got a blue and a green. Which one do we go for? Apparently green. I'm going to put the blue one back. Prompt number 2. A book with a cute cover. I feel like I have a few that this could work for. I've got some cute little books. Let's have a nosy. I'm feeling romance. I feel like romances have more like cutesy covers rather than my fantasy ones, which have more like pretty covers. Does that make any sense? I've picked a couple that I think have quite cute covers, and we will take it from there. So my first choice is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I've actually heard some mixed things about this book, but I really want to read it. I've read 2 Emily Henry books now and I've really enjoyed both of them, so I do want to read this. I think this is a really cute cover. I like the sunset, I like the water. I also like that they're just like sat reading or maybe writing, since he's got all these scribbled notes. I think it's, yeah, one story to tell, two writers trying to tell it, an ending to beat them all. I just think this is such a cute little cover. So this is definitely an option. And then another option is First Time Caller by BK Borison. I really like this. I like the tones. I just think it's really cute. And they both just look so chuffed, and I just think it's a really cute cover. I also think it's really cute sprayed edges, but I feel like that's cheating because it does say a cute cover. Which one do I go for? Which one's cuter? Which is the cuter option? I do think this one is the cuter cover. So I think we're going to go for this one. This one definitely has more about it. I like the sunset. I like the sea. I like the cute little face-to-face reading situation we've got going on. This is definitely a cuter cover. So I'm going to pop this down as our second book this month. Prompt number 3. I feel like I always do a little dance while I'm doing that. I don't know what that's about. I have a purple one, a book with a sword on the cover. I've had this one again recently as well. I want to say it wasn't last month but the month before, because that's when I chose City of Bones. And then my other option for that at the time was Lady of Darkness, which I already have on here. So I'm going to have to look for a new book with a sword on the cover. None are immediately springing into mind, which is very unlike me. Okay, so I've actually, again, picked a couple of options because I don't have any books that are like screaming at me that have swords on the cover right now, other than Lady of Darkness, which I've used for another prompt. I have two options. I first have one of my Fairy Loot books. So this is Warrior Princess Assassin, and this was the Fairy Loot book for August, I think. He has a sword. I don't know if you can see it very well, but he does have a sword there. This is one option and what sounds like a lot of fun. I've never read anything by this author either. And then my other option that I've chosen is Once Upon a Broken Heart. Now the knight there has a sword. There's a lot of this author doing the rounds recently because she's had a new book released, and this has sort of brought this back up again. And I've heard a lot of people just speaking about this series recently, and I'm just, again, not on the bandwagon. I feel like there's a lot of series that have been out for a while that I'm just not up to date with, and ones that I've had on my bookshelf for a very long time, and I'm trying to be good at like actually going back and reading the old series because I feel like I'm missing out. And also this was gifted to me by somebody a while ago, and the lovely Tanya Stewart picked this book for me. So it was a book off my wish list at the time, and I really want to read this. So maybe we'll read this one since it was gifted to me. I just think it's really sweet. So I'm going to choose this one actually. It's a good job I saw that little bit of paper sticking out the bottom. I always keep the Amazon like gift notes. I always keep the books that my sort of like TikTok and YouTube followers gift me, and also the ones that I win in sort of spotlights and things. So I am definitely looking forward to this one, and thank you Tanya for getting it for me. Let's put this on my November TBR. Prompt number 4. We have a yellow. A book with the enemies to lovers trope. Okay, this is obviously all well and good if you know the tropes for all the books that you're reading. I do not. I do think I have one though. Okay, so the book I've gone for is The Frontrunner by Elsie Silver. Now, I had this on a TBR, maybe not last month, but the month before. And again, I didn't get to it. And I do really want to read this. And it sounds awful, but I just want to be done with this series. I know that's not a good sign, okay? But the Chestnut Spring series, I devoured. I loved it so much. It's honestly one of my favourite series of all time. I can't say the same for the Gold Rush Ranch series. I didn't really enjoy book 1. Book 2 I did like. And this one's about Stefan, which is an absolute arsehole in the other books. And it literally says on the back, he's infuriatingly handsome and annoyingly persistent. We're supposed to hate each other, but apparently he didn't get the memo. So, enemies. She doesn't like him. Nobody likes him. So we're going to see how this sort of changes. I do want to finish this series because I really want to read this series. And I feel like I can't start this series until I finish this series. So I do want to get these done. I do want to read them, get them done, move on. I just want to move on with my life. So I'm going to put this on the TBR for this month, and I'm going to try my hardest to actually get this read, because I feel like if a book's been on my TBR 3 times and not been read, I should just DNF them and get rid of them. I feel like that's a good rule to have. Obviously I don't feel like it's completely fair in these next couple of months while I've got so much going on, but we're going to try and get this read this month. I want it done. I want something easy as well. I just want something easy reading on there, so this is definitely an option. And then I'll only have one more book before I can move on to a series I'm very excited for, which is the Rosehill series. So this is on there. This is going to be my 4th book for November. Let's go for prompt number 5. Ooh, I've got a couple in my hand again. We have a blue one. Okay, so prompt number 5, a book with the same first letter of the month. Now it is November, so we are going for the letter N. I did have this one a while back, and that's when I read Arcana Academy, and that was back in August. I have spotted one whilst talking to you guys that works perfectly for this prompt, that's actually worked out so nicely. And that book is Nightbane by Alex Astor. Now I am currently rereading Like Lark because I recently bought the Grim and Oro book. It is stunning. Let me quickly show you guys. I recently bought the Grim and Oro special edition book. Like, it's absolutely stunning and it's made me really want to read the rest of this series. So I have read Like Lark. I read it in March of this year, but in talking to Faye about it, I realised I actually don't remember very much about the story. So I'm currently listening to it on audio. So I read it the first time, I'm going to audio it this time, and then we can jump straight into Nightbane. So this is perfect. This works out very, very nicely. So I'm going to jump straight into Nightbane next month after finishing the audio this month for Like Lark. So this works out really nice. I was actually panicking a little bit because I'm like, how many books do you own that begin with M? Like, I genuinely don't even know if I'll have any others. But it doesn't matter because we have this one here. So this is going to be the 5th book for November. We're going to jump into Nightbane. I'm very excited about that. I really want to get further into this story. But if you know the best time to read the Grim and Oro book, then please let me know, because I've had some people say after the 3rd one and then other people say after the 4th one. So I need to try and find out what Alex Astor's sort of like recommended reading order is, because I don't know when to read the new one. Obviously I've got this one and one more before I have to worry about it, but I want some advice. So if you guys know the best time to read the Grim and Oro book, please let me know. 5th book for November, we have Nightbane. So going in for our final prompt, I have a pink one. So our final prompt, I have a book that has been turned into a film or show. I feel like there's a lot of book adaptations at the minute, so I feel like this could work for a lot of them. But there is one in particular that I'm thinking about right now. But I don't have the physical copy of it, but I do have it on my Kindle. Could we read Regretting You? I want to read that before the film comes out and before I watch the film, so maybe that could be an option. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I've just had a look at the rest of my books and there's nothing on there that's really like jumping out to me. Obviously Chestnut Springs has been announced that it's becoming a film or a show, but I've read that. Same with Fourth Ring, I've read that. So I don't have the physical book, which I don't like doing because I'm trying really hard to read my physical TBR. But Regretting You by Colleen Hoover is being turned into a film. I really want to read it before I watch the film. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to put Regretting You by Colleen Hoover on my TBR. The trailer looks really good. I'd not even really heard of the book before I saw the trailer. I do think I even have it downloaded already. Let's just double check. I do. It's on Kindle Unlimited, so I downloaded it onto my Kindle. I think we'll do that. I think we'll put that on there. We do have it. We have it on there already. I've heard nothing about the actual story. I'm assuming it's got to be good enough if they've made it into a film, so I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I've been wanting to read this for ages and kept putting it off. Like, as soon as I heard that it was coming out, I was like, oh, I should probably read that. I really like Colleen Hoover's writing. I've read 3 books by this author already, so I'm intrigued to see what I think of the book and then of the film adaptations. I know nothing about it, like I said, and honestly I think I might keep it that way. I don't even think I'm going to read the blurb. I think I'm just going to read it. I think that's what I'll do. So I can't give you any sort of information about what this book's about because I don't know. I don't know what it's about. I have no idea. There you have it, our last book for November. Okay, we have a lovely little even split mix this month. I have 3 fantasies and 3 romances. I have 2 in new series and 2 in continuing series and 2 standalones. So again, we have a very lovely split this month. That's actually worked out so nicely. That is like the perfect little set. We love that. That is perfect. I'm very, very, very happy with how that worked out. So yeah, let's see if we can actually get to my TBR this month, because like I said, it's not really been working out very well for the past month because of just everything that I've got going on at the minute. But this has worked out really nicely. So let's recap. So the first prompt that we got was use a random letter generator and pick a book starting with that letter. I got the letter L, so we have gone for Lady of Darkness, book 1 in the Lady of Darkness series by Melissa K. Rorick. Very, 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 very excited for this one. We then got a book with a cute cover and I went for Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This is one that I've had for a while now and I really want to get to, and I just think the cover's really cute. So we then chose a book with a sword on the cover and I've gone for Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Again, heard great things about this series, and with her new book out it has very much been doing the rounds again, so I do want to get on it, and the sword is there. I then got a book with the enemies to lovers trope and I've gone for The Front Runner by Elsie Silver. Not the most excited for this book, but definitely want this series done. It is necessary for my reading, but not one I'm particularly excited about. I then got a book with the same first letter of the month and we chose Nightbane for this by Alex Astor. I am definitely looking forward to getting further into this series. I am rereading Lightlock at the moment, so I'm looking forward to seeing what actually happens with the rest of the series and the betrayal at the end of Lightlock. I want to know how this all wraps up, so looking forward to this one. And then finally I got a book that has been turned into a film or show, and I have gone for Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. Not off my physical TBR, which is very naughty, but I will just end up buying the book and then it'll be on my physical TBR anyway. Looking forward to this one. Not heard anything about it, so I'm intrigued to see my thoughts on this one. I've heard nothing at all, no good reviews, no bad reviews, not a single clue what it's about, but I'm definitely looking forward to giving this one a go. There you have it, my 6 reads for November. I have such a lovely TBR and TBR that I'm actually really excited for. Very evenly split, very nice sort of set of books that I'm going to hopefully get to next month. Like I say, I have a lot going on in the next few weeks, especially, all being well, so I don't know how much of these I will actually get read, but we're going to give it a go regardless. We're going to give it a go. There's definitely some books in there that I know I will read next month. We will just see. We'll have to see how we go with that, but that's fine. And if you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them. Give me some motivation. Make sure I get these read in the next month. I am definitely looking forward to these. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social media, my Amazon, my Goodreads and my business email are all in the description bar below. I really hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.